Hi everyone, this is Jung and I'm here for Hip Kid Club. Today I'm doing my very first process video for YouTube ever, so I hope you enjoy. For my layout today, I'm going to be using the August 2018 Hip Kits. I'm going to be using the main kit, Project Life kit, and the embellishment kit. These photos of my youngest daughter, in the pink she was about 2 weeks old and in the purple she was a year old. She's almost 2 years old now, so these photos are just a little bit older. I have been eyeballing Maggie Holmes' new collection called Willow Lane, so I was super excited to see them included in the kits. Okay, so what I'm showing you here is I removed the 3D foam that came on the back of the crepe paper fringe. I don't like my embellishments to be too high because I like to fill my albums as much as I can, so I just removed that easily. So far what else I've done is I picked some ephemera from the ephemera pack. And I've also fussy cut a few things. I fussy cut those butterflies from the Maggie Home flutter paper, and I fussy cut that little banner from the Maggie Home spread love paper. I'm also looking through the 6x12 sticker sheets to see what would work on my layout. A little trick I like to do when using stickers is use wax paper. That way I could stick it onto the wax paper and move it around on my layout to see where I want it before I make any commitments and stick it down. Since this is my first process video, I wanted to choose a layout that I know I'm comfortable with making. I've done a layout like this before where I kind of just pick embellishments and ephemera to go on my layout, and I kind of just pick things to fit together like a puzzle, and I try and find embellishments that work in each little space. Now I have to be honest, I did kind of plan a little bit what I wanted this layout to look like ahead of time. If I didn't plan this out, my video would be a year long. I'm a very slow scrapbooker. So now I'm just kind of looking through the ephemera pieces, this chipboard sheet, the stickers to try and see what else can fit into these little spaces. I'm trying to stick with the pink and mustard yellow color scheme, and I thought I might use that royal blue color, but in the end I decided that it was too much for my layout. Since this layout is a very clean layout, there's no mixed media, there's no really any layering, I'm going to do a lot of pushing around because I want just the right pieces in just the right spots, and I want it to be a very clean yet graphic layout. So I'm fussy cutting this flower. It's from the Maggie Holmes Blossom paper. I'm going to speed through this so you don't have to watch me cut it out in real time. The key to fussy cutting seems to be to find a sharp pair of scissors and to move the paper and not your scissors. Once I set the flower down, I decided I needed a third flower for the top right corner. I looked through the chipboard accents and I found this flower. I also like that it has the green leaves, so it can add some of that green in the top right corner as well. What you see me doing is probably pulling about half of the chipboard layers off. As I mentioned before, I don't like ephemera to be too thick, so I can just customize how thick I want it by pulling some of the layers of chipboard off. Here I am just moving little pieces around, trying to find the perfect spot for everything. I am auditioning different pieces in different spots until I find something that I like. I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter to type up my journaling. Sometimes it's just easier to type my journaling rather than to handwrite it directly on the layout. I find that I get nervous when it's time to write my journaling on the layout. I don't want to make a mistake, and oftentimes I do. I'm using my paper trimmer to cut my journaling into strips. Essentially, my journaling says, "I'm so glad I got to review the dog tot," which is the name of the bed that she's laying in. She loves it and so do we. I normally save my journaling for last, but on this type of layout, I wanted to make sure that I had just the right space for the journaling. So I mentioned before that I'm a pretty slow scrapbooker. One of the reasons that I'm such a slow scrapbooker is because I'm kind of a perfectionist. I use my T-square ruler a lot. I measure a lot. And if I make a mistake, I don't just roll with it. I have to start over. You're kind of going to see that a little bit here. I mess up on the date on top, so I end up scrapping it and redoing it on another label, which is kind of a bummer because I really liked that purple label and I could have used another purple element. That's alright, I'll just make this pink label work. So now I'm looking through the HipGet Club exclusive Project Life cards to try and see what else I can fill these spaces with. I found a card that I liked and I'm going to use my tab punch to punch out a little tab. I like to make these kits work for me. I'm not really a project lifer, but I do like to get the Project Life kit. These exclusive cards are great for punching. As you saw, I used my tab punch. I also like to use butterfly punches, heart punches, or die cuts, and stars are some things that I use a lot also. So right now I'm trying to decide on a title. I thought about using that dream from the 6x12 sticker sheet, but I felt like the blue was too strong for the layout. Again, that's why I decided not to go with a blue butterfly as well. So I went in a different direction. I'm going to be using these Maggie Holmes mini alphas, and I spell out then and now. The ampersand from the Amy Tangerine Thickers I thought was perfect. I love that pop of black. I also like these stickers. I believe they're called the waterfall stickers. I especially like those clear stickers with the black words. I've used them on several layouts already. Also, how cute are these puffy stickers from Maggie Holmes? My little baby girl likes to run into my scrapbook room, and those are the first things she likes to grab. I think she likes all the little animals on it. Sorry about the lighting change, but mom life called, and we all know how that goes. By the time I got back to the scrapbook room, it was completely dark, so I had to turn on the lights. Here I am just removing everything on the layout so I can start getting ready to adhere everything. I like to use a variety of adhesive. I use double-sided tape. I use liquid glue. The liquid glue that I use is Ranger Multimedia Matte and sometimes even glossy accents. I also use the Tombow tape runner. And again, there's my T-square ruler. At night when the kids are in bed is when I get the most quality time for scrapbooking anyway. It's nice to sit down and scrap and not have all these interruptions. What about you guys? When do you find time to scrap? So here I am using my favorite 3D foam adhesives. I believe these are by Scrapbook Adhesives, and I like to use their thin 3D foam. I get them on bulk on Amazon. They're a little bit harder to find than the regular Scrapbook Adhesive 3D foam, but these are my favorite. I like to create different textures on my layout. I like to create shadows and depth. I like to do this with machine stitching, 3D foam. I use my little tiny attacher by Tim Holtz, the little stapler. I use that a lot. And sometimes I do hand stitching as well. I like how much interest it adds to the page. I'm just going to keep adhering all the little pieces onto my layout. I don't know if you noticed earlier, but I did take a picture with my phone. That's something I do often when I lay things out before I glue everything down. That way I can refer back to the picture. So I'm looking at these photos, and what I find funny is how much more hair my baby girl has when she was a newborn rather than when she was 1. She's almost 2 now, and she probably has just as much hair as she did in those newborn photos. She doesn't have much hair at all. In fact, whenever we go out, people still mistake her for a boy, even if she's wearing pink. That's okay. So what I'm showing you here is that I took my layout off camera and did a little bit of machine stitching. Up, there goes my best friend, the T-square ruler again. So I hope you guys are enjoying my process video so far. Y'all, this is hard work. I have done this voiceover several times already, and I still feel like I sound like a nerd. I even played the video for my kids and I asked, does mommy sound like this? It's funny how you think you sound one way, but you totally sound way different. This is also a lot of talking for me. When the girls are at school and I'm just home with a baby by myself, I don't do a lot of consecutive talking. I might do a lot of baby talk. We talk about where's our eyes, where's our hair, nose, etc. And we might do a little bit of singing. Baby shark, do 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 do. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. If you're a mom of toddlers or little kids, you know what song I'm talking about, and you're going to have that song stuck in your head all day, I bet. And if you don't know what song I'm talking about, feel free to YouTube Baby Shark, and you'll see tons of videos pop up. Anyways, I kind of got off topic, so I'm just continually gluing things down onto my layout. That's another adhesive I like to use, especially for these little journaling strips. I think it's by EK Success. Martha Stewart has one. It's just a glue pen. I like to use that. So now I'm still trying to find other little pieces to fit in these little areas. The little bird I punched from a sheet of paper. I believe it's the Maggie Holmes Willow Lane, the B side, or is it the A side? Anyways, and then I'm trying to look for stickers and the puffy stickers, just trying to fill these little spaces. I really like when we get tiny shapes along with the embellishments, just like these little puffy stars and hearts. I think they add the perfect touch of color and embellishment to tiny little spaces. That's probably why I love enamel dots so much. So next I'm going to be pulling out the Maggie Holmes clear stamp set. And as I mentioned before, I really like the tiny embellishment, so I'm going to choose the smaller stickers. I was trying to find a pink ink that would go good with the colors on my layout, and at first I pulled this Distress Oxide color out. It was from a previous color kit, and I stamped it on a scratch piece of paper, and it was a little too bold for me. I was just about to put it away when I did my second stamp, and I liked that color better. So what you see me doing here is inking it up, stamping it off on the scratch sheet of paper, and then stamping it onto my layout. I hope that makes sense. So I forgot to fluff up the butterfly wings, but I'll do that for the photos in the end. I hope you liked my process video. I hope you like my layout. And don't forget to check out the Hip Kit Club website for all the kit information, and I'll try to leave links below. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye!